an MP assaulted me. It was quite early on in my career and I was quite young.
Lisette Whitaker worked in Parliament for 2 decades, where she suffered low-level harassment and bullying before being assaulted and stalked by an MP.
I've actually really struggled lately with the idea that I sort of devoted nearly 20 years of my life to an organisation that failed me. They failed in their duty of care to look after me, and I find that really upsetting because I didn't deserve that. I deserve to be treated fairly, and that's why I really want to stand up and say this today, because there are still people that aren't being treated fairly.
A new report out today shines a light on how common this type of experience is. It heard examples of unwelcome sexual advances, describing breasts being grabbed and crotches being pressed and rubbed against bodies. It also found that some of the worst offenders are well known within Parliament, but despite this, there's a general disregard for the dignity, well-being and rights of MPs' staff.
A lot of the behaviour I saw is behaviour that could have been nipped in the bud at really quite an early stage if there was some form of structure in place. So in a relationship where there's an enormous power imbalance, staff felt too frightened to ask the MP for clearer guidance on how to do a particular piece of work or to raise any concerns.
One of the biggest problems identified by this report is the culture here in Parliament. The blurred lines between the professional and the personal, with overnight work trips and late night dinners. The power dynamics of a boss who oversteps the mark but holds the power over your career in their hands. And, of course, there's the politics. Parliament is a unique and difficult place to police, but this report concludes that that excuse is no longer good enough. The culture has to change. But things aren't changing fast enough for some. A vote in Parliament next week could, if it passes as government sources expect, extend the complaints process to include historic allegations, which would be a big step forward. But concerns remain.
It's still corrosive, it's still there. And, you know, the bullying has not lessened, and we're seeing from some of the cases of sexual harassment that they continue apace, and people are misusing power.
So would those who understand the problems recommend a friend work in Westminster?
I still think it's a great place to work, could be a great place to work.
Change is happening here, but it's been too slow for many. That just 34 of 650 MPs signed up for recent voluntary training on the issue shows there's still a long way to go. Kate McCann, Sky News.